Recording in progress.
Morning, everyone. Hope I'm audible. Right. In the last session, mm, yeah, we have seen how to write, async task, how to use async task, and uh, execute the network request and fetch the data that we have seen in the last session. Also, we learned about JSON library. If you remember, we also learned about the JSON library. Now, as I told you earlier, that async task is deprecated. What is the other way to proceed? What is the other way to proceed? So, instead of async task, we can actually use executors in the place of async task. All right. So, we shall see how to use executors today. That is going to be the very first topic. And if it is completed, we will also discuss on Volley library. Okay. Hope the agenda is clear. So if we are able to finish Volley, you will have 2 days to complete at least some portion of your capstone project. Right? You can take a project. I will show you the public repositories from where you can pick up and you can do an assignment. All right? Yeah. Thanks. So, how do we use executors? Let us put this fetch data aside. Directly on main activity, you can create a separate thread and let the thread work for you in the form of executors. So let's see how. Okay. First thing first, if you want to use executors, you are supposed to create an executor service. Sorry for my bad throat. My health was not good yesterday. Today I'm fine. So that is why I did not take a session yesterday. Right. So instead of calling fetch data and execute methods here, I'm just commenting them down. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use executors here. First of all, let us create an executor service. So step one would be create an executor service. Okay. So how do we create an executor service object? It will get some more space here. Right. Simply executor service, executor. Okay, executor service is from java.util.concurrent package. Choose it. Now we'll call the object as service, and that's equal to executors yeah, this one. Executors is also from java.util.current. You choose executors and call new single thread executor. Okay, because I just want to run one thread in the background. That is the reason we choose new single thread executor. So this is how you initialize a executor service object. Once it is initialized, we can go on to the next step. So what is step 2? Step 2 is create the executor service. We created an object, but let us assign some task to the service object. Okay, by creating the actual executor. So how does this actual executor should work? You can write the service object. On top of the service object, we can directly call execute method. Now inside the execute, you create a new runnable that runs in the background. Obviously, runnables, threads, handlers, all these things, they run in the background by default. So you can directly write new runnable. So you get a run method, right? So this works. This run method is the replacement of or this run method works similar to that of doing background method. All right, this run method works as that of your doing background method. And in the run method, you can write whatever you want. Okay. So what code do I want to write? I don't want to write everything from beginning. What I'll do is I'll take all these things, including the try catch block, from the doing background method. I'll copy them and paste it here. Now URL will give you an error. Instead of URL strings of 0, what I can do is, as we make up a URL here, if you remember, we made up a URL here. I'm passing the same URL u here. That's it. And when you return the value, you need not to return the value. What we can do is we can have this string builder created above this one, like here, after creating the executor service, or before actually creating the executor service, you can have a string builder object. And you need not to have this return statement. Fortunately, you need not to have the return statement. Okay. Correct. So if you understand what we did, I would like to repeat it once again for you. This run method that you are creating as a new runnable on this service class, on the service object of executor, it runs in the background. That is why I'm trying to read data in the background. But what I'm doing is I'm not returning any data from this run method. Instead, I'm creating a variable called string builder above this executor, and then only I'm calling, and then only I'm appending the data to this string builder object. Okay. All right. So we have the data in SB. But now, if you remember the two rules that I was talking about in the last session, do not block the main thread, right? And do not access the UI toolkit from within the worker thread. Do you remember those two rules, guys? Do you remember those two rules? Thank you, Akansha, for responding. So as we are into a thread which runs in the background, I cannot access the UI toolkit, right? I cannot access the UI toolkit. So what is the next step? So in the same run method, what we can do is we can call a run on UI thread. Run on UI thread, and you can create a new runnable here. Sorry, run on UI thread. Now you create a new runnable instance, new runnable. Now this runs on the main thread or the UI thread. Okay. Oh, actually, see, sorry. This should go inside the run method. I'm writing it outside the run method. I'm sorry. Okay. When you have this runnable, you will have the implementation of run method. Right. So this run method is responsible, or this run method works as on post execute method. Run on UI thread, what it does is this works as that of on post execute method. So this much easy it is to use executors. And in the on post execute method, whatever the code that I have written, the same code I can copy. So I can go to on post execute method. So here I am setting the progress bars visibility first. So copy those lines, come back to this run method, paste them. Now this text view should have a reference called result. So instead of text view, you call it result. Simple. And in on-post execute method, we also have so much of logic to display the data. However, I'm using JSON library because it makes our task easy. So copy this JSON library related code, come back to main activity and paste it. Now instead of yes here, we will use sb.toString because we have data in SB, right? So sb.toString is directly used here. And instead of text view here, we can use a result. And then result. Okay. So to give you an overview, I'm just minimizing these run methods. Okay, this run method I cannot minimize, but try catch block I can minimize, and this run method I can minimize. If you see, this is very simple structure. All you need is an executor service object instantiated from new single thread executor or new pool thread executor. You can have a pool of runnable classes for the same service object. But I don't recommend you to use it. You can use single thread executor itself and call service.execute method and implement a runnable. And this run method works as the doing background method because a separate thread will be running in the background. Once this thread finishes off its task, you want to access the UI toolkit, but you cannot access the UI toolkit from within a worker thread or a thread that runs in the background. That is the reason you are creating run on UI thread method where you're just writing another runnable, and you can, as you are running on the main thread or the UI thread, you can do all the UI related logic. Obviously, yes, Akansha, you are right. You understood correctly. If the control is still in the background thread or in the worker thread, see again the UI may go unresponsive, which is not recommended. So every time you work with a thread, you get data. If you want to display the data, come back to the main thread or the UI thread and display your data. Right. Maybe I will get some errors as of now if I run it. But yeah, let us try running it and see if we get an output. Why is yeah. It is simpler than async task, basically. However, async task is necessary because we get to see modularity of each function. Here, everything is written in run method only, right? That is the reason. If I teach you this in the beginning, you get confused. That is the reason I switched to async task first and then came back to executors. Okay, now we enter your book name. I will say Java. Now hit down get data. Progress bar is started. That is cool. And data arrived. Progress bar stopped working. And we can see the data here. Right. So executors are working as per our need. If you want to see the code in detail, you can also minimize this executor as a code. So you just have 2 lines to work with. Okay. Inside the thread, what you do should go inside run method. And whatever you want to do on the UI thread should go into the run on UI thread methods related runnables run method. Okay. This is how executors work. Hope this is understood. So which one do you feel easy? Let us have a poll here. Let us have a poll here. What is this? File. Add emoji. Format. Screenshot. What? Right. We don't have a polling option here, it seems. Okay, no issues. I thought it is a Google Meet. Google Meet has that option, but unfortunately Zoom does not have it. So tell me which one do you feel is easy to learn and understand? Async task or executors? My personal favorite is honestly async task. Okay, Akansha had the same thought in mind. Async task is good to work with, but it has its own disadvantages. That is the reason we are switching to executor services. Okay, so only Akansha is responding. How about the remaining? So if you like async task, give me a thumbs up as a reaction. Or if you like executors, give me a clap. That would work for me. Oh, there is one clap received. Ravikiran likes it, likes the executors. Cool. There are 2 thumbs ups. Hemant and Ishika like async task. 3 thumbs ups actually. Sweta also likes async task. Cool. Good. So you did understand executors, right? Cool. Thank you so much. So let's proceed forward. I can explain Wally library also in the same project if you allow me, but I don't think it is a better idea because it will confuse you a little bit. Wally is comparatively too easy. Comparatively too easy than async task and than executors also. Too very easy. So how do you want me to proceed? You want me to proceed with the same project, or you want me to take another project as a sample? Okay, I'll take another project as there are no responses. I don't want to confuse you more. So let us create a new project. Before that, let us select which library you want to get. So if you go to Google and check what happened to my Google, yeah, and search for public APIs, you get a GitHub link. So there is a collective list of public APIs. I have shared the link in the chat. You can select any API of your interest. You can select any API of your interest. Okay. There are numerous number of libraries available here. Entertainment. So chucknorris.io. It is a JSON API for hand curated Chuck Norris jokes. Okay, let's go to this chucknorris.io. Let us see if that works. All you need to do is you just have to hit this URL. One simple URL is given. And here you get to see that there is a joke. Chuck Norris is so fast that he can run around the world and punch himself in the back of the head. What? Okay, they feel that it is a joke. Congratulations to themselves. I don't feel it is a joke. If you hit the URL again, you get another joke. Chuck Norris will attain statehood in 2009. His state flower will be the Magnolia. Okay. Not sure what it is. Too bad. Chuck Norris. So, favorite yogurt flavor is beef jerky. What? No, adultery jokes are there here. No. Corporate buzzwords. Let's see what are these corporate buzzwords. So corporate buzzwords. It will sound so good that you users will just nod enthusiastically even though they have no idea what. Corporate bullshit is the icing on the cake. Proof that not even on the business world takes the business world seriously. Right? People get annoyed about it, but don't do anything about it. They give it use in meetings, the dignity of a response rather than someone saying, okay. Right. Cool. No, not so cool. So let's go back. Not so good. Random useless facts. Get useless but true facts. Maybe I think I like this. So slash random should work here. No, what is the base URL then? You can request a specific format between exchange. Okay. Think it's not working. There is at least one report of your course from each province of Canada. Oh, you're getting it actually, but in HTML format. Okay, I don't like it. JSON and plain text API for tech-savvy sounding phrases. Wow. Just use cryptography on the distortion suppression. What? I should really get to fixing the inductance phased. Okay. So this is a direct string only. There is no JSON response. There is direct string. You are interested, you can use it. I'm not interested. Excuse her. Namo memes. Oh, memes on Narendra Modi. Why would they not want to make it? Oh, no. Okay. Application is removed because he's the Prime Minister of India. You Mohammed jokes. What is this? Okay. Let us go with Chuck Norris finally. We went there, we came here, but finally we are going with chucknorris.com. Okay, get a random joke because I don't want to waste your time, guys. That's fine. Let's hit this URL and copy it. We'll say we'll create a new project. We'll select empty activity as usually. We'll call it Chuck, Chuck Norris jokes. In batch 15, we'd like to create it. Java should be our programming language, and we finished to create the project easily. Now we have the URL, right? We can paste it somewhere. Like here, you can create a public static, or yeah, you can simply create a string. We can call it URL is equal to X. Okay. Now I want to use Wally to do this network request. Before that, I'd like to change the UI. Let the project be created, and then we'll proceed with it. Okay. Okay. All right. So you can go ahead and design the UI. I don't want to make a fancy design. So what I do is I'll put a button here because I'm getting a random joke, right? Put the button at the end, left to left, right to right. You can change the button size to whatever the size you want it. And also you can change the text on this button to fetch random joke. Random joke. Nice, okay. So this button has an ID, but let us create a non-click event handler afterwards. We will have a text view. I think it is better to have a card view, and on top of it, we can have a text view for better design. But I don't want to concentrate on the design anyway. You can do it if you are interested, because I already told you how to use card view as well, right? You can use card view for this text view as well. Let us increase this size, but change this text to nothing. Before that, increase the size to say 20 SP. Can also make it bold, italic, both. Change the font family to casual. Right. Looks good actually. It's look very good. Can change even the size to 24 SP also, it is good. Nice. This color I want to change. Color you can change it to blue, maybe dark blue. Let's see search design. Great. So this text view had an ID called text view. Let us leave it as it is and remove this text that is being displayed here. Okay. Also, we should have a progress bar. So go to the widgets, drag and drop a progress bar. Set the top to the top of the screen, bottom to the top end of the uh, button, left to left, and right to right. Cool. So go to the split mode and for the button, you create an on-click event handler. On-click, fetch, random joke. So this is the thing I want to create. Now you need to connect to the progress bar and the text view. Progress bar, I'll say progress bar. And for text view, I would say text view. Why should I waste my time by calling it one other name? Now connect the progress bar. Progress bar is equal to FBB and V by ID or ID dot progress bar. And text view also you can connect. Text view is equal to FBB and V by ID R dot ID dot text view. Simple. Now, when you get these kind of errors, you know what to do. Before that, I want to change this 32 compile SDK to 33. And now hit on this elephant symbol that syncs the project. After this syncing is done, you will also have these things removed. Nice. Everything is set and done now. Now we'll see how to add Wally. So in order to add Wally, all you need to do is Wally is a library that is developed by Google. So if you search for Wally Android, you get Google documentation. On the button, yeah, you can drag it to the button now. Altaf. Simple one only. You can just drag it to the button. In this case. Okay, so Wally is a HTTP library that makes networking for Android apps easier and most importantly, faster. Wally is available on GitHub. You can go to GitHub to see how Wally is there. You can use this library. Otherwise, this Wally offers a lot of benefits. So how do we use it? For Java, you just have to copy this dependency, come back to your project. Where is your project? Yeah, here it is. Go to the build.gradle file and add this dependency. Now hit on sync now so that Wally library will be downloaded and synchronized with your project. Once it is done, you can go back to Google and see there are 4 lessons here. Send a simple request. And there are other lessons also. So let us go with send a simple request lesson. In this lesson, you will have the code that is necessary. So to use Wally, you must add internet permission to your app's manifest. Without this, your app won't be able to connect to the network. So let's go back to the manifest file and add the permission for using the internet. So users permission, INTER, internet. Simple. And when do you want to perform this network request? Whenever. Okay, first here in the onCreate method, we can show the progress bar's visibility. You can set the visibility of the progress bar to invisible. Now, as soon as the button is pressed, you can set the progress bar visibility to visible. Now you want to perform. Network request, right? So how do you want to do the network request? Very simple. So there is Java code available here. You see, you just have to copy all this and paste it there. You're done. Actually, you're done. But if you want to have a detailed explanation, first thing you need to do is you need to create a request queue. So create a request queue. Request queue. I will say queue. Q is equal to volley dot new request queue. And for this request queue, you pass the context, and that would be sufficient. Next, you want to perform a string request. So string request is equal to new string request. And for this string request, you are supposed to specify 3 parameters, guys. The first parameter would be, maybe not the context, but I'm just trying it out. Okay. The first parameter would be the method that you want to do. So method dot get. So what type of request you would like to perform? I would like to perform get request. That is why I'm giving request dot method dot get. Next, you should give a URL. So where do you have the URL? URL is present in the URL variable. Next, you want to have a listener. When there is a response, you need to get a response listener, or you need to go to the response listener. And when there is an error, you need to go to the error listener, because if there is a response, you should handle it. And if there is an error also, you're supposed to handle it. So new response listener. And after this, you can put a comma and write new error listener. Wait. Is it the right place? No, this is the right place. So new error listener. Okay. So in the on-response method, you have your data. Simply, you have your data. So now you can show the progress bar's visibility, set visibility to invisible again, and display the data on the text view. So text view dot set text of response, simply response. In the same way, you can copy these two, paste it in the on error response, and instead of displaying response, you can display error dot get message. Okay. Now finally, this request has to be added to the queue. The final step is add the request to the queue. Very simple. Add the request to the queue. With that, you will be done. QUE. How do we add it? We call the queue and add. Okay, forward how to do it. Let us go to it. Okay, request.add only. Add is correct. Add. Pass this request. That's it. You are done. You can run the application and see the entire data. So this instance is not working. We can find the instance. Right. If I click on fetch random job, the progress bar started working, and as soon as there is a job, I am able to see it. These string Chuckmore is for a less painful death. Okay. That is a joke. You should laugh at it. Okay. That's a rule. I don't understand why these people call them jokes. Okay. So if you see the response, to parse the response, you can go to JSON formatter and validator. You can put your response here and go ahead and click on process. You get to see a huge response. You get the entire data as an object. And from this data, you don't have the category. You just want to have value. Okay. So let us parse this response. Simple. In an object, we have the actual value. So first, convert everything to JSON object. So JSON object root is equal to new JSON object. And for this, you can give response directly. You can surround this JSON object with try catch. And now you have to extract this string called Joe, so-called Joe, that is equal to root dot get string of value. Simple. Now this Joe can be displayed on the text view. So text view dot set text of Joe. Now you'll have a more valued application now. Instead of getting all that bloody stuff, you'll get the appropriate value. If I click on fetch random Joe, you have the progress bar running, and you have java.net connection exception. Okay. Okay. No problem. Somebody was lighting up a merely just as Chuck Norris cut a far above the hidden bird. Okay. Chuck Norris mapped the Jesus out of Jesus. That's why he's currently known as Simply Jesus. Okay. Is that a joke? Okay. Let it be. So you can, if you display it on card views, and as the user clicks on random joke, you can display a new joke on the same card again. So that's how you can simply, this is a very simple application, right? And the usage of Wally is too very easy. It's like a cakewalk, correct? But you may ask me, why didn't you teach this instead of async tasks, instead of executors? Why didn't you teach it right away, like in the in the very first place? Because it is so easy, you can learn it anytime. But the reason why I taught you async task and executors is to make you understand how threads runnables work in the background for us, and what are the important rules to learn as a developer. Because in the future, if you try to access a UI toolkit, the UI methods or UI related components from a worker thread, that seems too odd, right? You will get errors and you will not understand why you are getting it. Okay. So hope you understood Wally. Wally is comparatively very, very easy. And fortunately, we came up with a good application. Okay. Small things are there that you can tweak. For example, text view. You can have text views 16 bits of space from left and 16 bits of space from right also you can have. From top and bottom also you maintain 16 bits of space. And I have chosen a wrong font for this one. So of casual, it will be nice. We go with more space. Right, let us run the application and see the difference. That's a random joke. Discovered a new species of butterfly. They aptly named Chacnoriscus. What? Chacnoriscus mortalitas. Striking butterfly effect. Okay. It goes high into the air and takes a dramatic drive to crash into a human skull, literally splitting it open, giving the human only a few seconds to live. After that, then it feeds on the human brain. That's a joke, okay? Laugh at it. Technology's natural public mask has the same properties as chloroform. The topsoil in technology's frontier is 40% human teeth. When technology was born, the doctor gave him the traditional slap on the teeth. Instead of crying, Chuck slapped the doctor back so hard it knocked him cold. Oh, in reality, technology is over 2,000 years old. After 99, his age resets to zero. Okay. Ever make the mistake of going up to Chuck Norris and saying, "What's up?" Don't be surprised when he says you. Okay. All right. Fine. So hope you understood this Wally library. If you did, give me a response in the chat. That would help me understand uh, how better you are. Okay? I mean, how better you understand. Thanks, Akanshi, for responding. Think I've made few changes. Sorry. It is actually origin main, right? Now to pull the changes from origin main. Correct. Now git commit, myfnm, executors and Wally. Git push origin mask. Okay, origin main master, right? All right. You have it on GitHub repository. Kindly go through it. Will help you for sure. Also, we have a classroom link. I don't know what to do with this, but I'm just updating it. Go to this batch, copy material, body, and executors. Okay. Description, you go to this link, enjoy. And for body library, this is the 1, 2, 3. Link. And for executors, you can type in executors and see. Okay, I don't want to confuse you and go to Android executors. You can copy this executor, back paste this HTML. Wow. Link, paste the link, add link. That's it. Okay. Also, I'd like to create an assignment for you. Create an assignment. Use Wally or executors to fetch data and display it on the device, on the application. Okay. Use any public API given. So for all the list of public APIs, you have this link. So this is the link you have for all the public APIs. Giving it here. All right. So you have got an assignment. Okay. You have got the notes also. Cool. Thank you so much, guys. We'll meet on Monday again, and we will have a detailed. We will have our capstone project started. Like not a capstone project though, but a full-fledged one, right? Mm. In my Android Studio, that attribute is not showing. Which attribute is not showing? Banti Rathod. Which attributes are not showing? XML design attributes are not showing. Is it so? Has it started recently, or are you facing the same issue from a long time, or from whenever we started the applications? All right. So I think it is better if you check for updates. If you open Android Studio, there is a button for update. Then try updating. It is updated. Okay. What is the configuration of your system? MacBook M1. So you should be getting them, right? Okay. Do one thing. Whenever you want to get the suggestions, try to hit Control, which means Command and Space on MacBook. Try to hit Command and Space. If it gives you any results, then it is fixed only. Otherwise, try to try to search it on Google Map. Yeah, cool. So I'll give you my email ID. Please just send me how you're getting it. Okay? I'll look into it. Thank you. Take care, guys. We'll meet on Monday. Have a happy weekend. Enjoy. Have a blast. And yeah, take care. Monday, rather, please don't miss out to drop me a message. Okay. Cool. Thank you.